connectivity. 1530. Jnano guhyatamam yat sakshat bhagavatoditam anvagachan gamishyantaha kripayadina vatsalaha. Jnanam guhyatamam yat sakshat bhagavata uditam. It is arisen directly from Krishna, from the Supreme Lord himself. Anvavochan gamishyantaha. They are leaving, they are departing. Kripaya dina vatsalaha. They are very kind to the poor-hearted souls. As they were leaving, those Bhaktivedantas were very kind to poor-hearted souls, instructed me in the most confidential subject, which is instructed by the personality of Godhead himself. So, in the purport, Prabhupada says nicely, the expression, I'm reading from the way down a little bit, the expression most confidential is significant here because knowledge of devotional service is far, far above the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Jnana means ordinary knowledge or any branch of knowledge. This knowledge develops up to the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Above this, when it is partially mixed with devotion, such knowledge develops to knowledge of Paramatma or the all-pervading Godhead. This is more confidential. But when such knowledge is turned into pure devotional service and the confidential part of transcendent knowledge is attained, it is called the most confidential knowledge. This most confidential knowledge was imparted by the Lord to Brahma, Arjuna, and Uddhava, etc. So here, there is one particular sequence of this knowledge degree, confidential, the degree of the confidentiality. It is coming. So there is a gradation. Can someone reveal this on thing? By now you will be knowing.
Okay, can you repeat the question?
Anyone? There is a gradation of the confidentiality in the way Prabhupada is described here.
Is it Saguna Sakara to Nirguna Nirakara and then Bhakti?
Yeah, see that Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan, 3 stages, right? In Brahman concept, what happens? There also there is a confidential knowledge is there, but it is to the much lesser degree. In other words, they see that I am not this body. To that extent, they may know. This world is not. This world is temporary. Whatever it is. But then they will not understand the transcendental form of the Lord. They don't have any idea of the transcendental form of the Lord. So that is confidential only. But then more confidential is what?
Paramatma.
When partially mixed with devotion, such knowledge develops to knowledge of Paramatma. So when you say Paramatma, what we do is we see God in everybody's heart. We see his all-pervading nature. So realizing the all-pervading nature of God is more confidential. Correct? That is one step higher. But then even more than that is, the Lord is of course present in everybody's heart, but he doesn't stop there. Beyond this, he is original. Originally, the Lord is present eternally in the transcendental abode, Gola Vrindavan. There he has a transcendental form. So that is why when such knowledge is turned into pure devotional service and the confidential part of transcendental knowledge is attained, it is called the most confidential knowledge. This nobody will accept it. No, nobody will understand it. That the Lord, while he is pervading everywhere, he still retains his individuality in another place for eternally. And that is the message which all others will miss out. Got it? Yogis may some of them may realize God within themselves, but they will not see that God is present outside also permanently. So the most confidential knowledge, this is what was imparted by the Lord to Brahma, Arjuna, Uddhava, etc. Now, Brahma we saw 2931, correct? Let's read that once again. 2931. Very beautiful verses these are. Yeah, see, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Jnanam Paramaguhyam Me Yad Vijnana Samanvitam Sarahasyam Tadangam Cha Grihana Gaditam Maya. Personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scripture is very confidential and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. Prabhu's Mataji, this is a very beautiful point here. Only when we get deeper into devotional service, we will appreciate the personal form, quality, his emotions, Krishna's transcendental emotions and all, we will be able to appreciate. Otherwise, what will happen is, by nature, we will only impose our feelings upon Krishna. You got what I'm saying? We will impose our feelings upon Krishna, and then what happens is naturally, Manushya, what is that? Avajananti Mamuda, Manushim Tanamashitaha, Param Bhava Majananto, Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Muda people, they will think that Avajananti, they don't know. Avajananti Mam, Muda people will not know me. Manushim Tanumashitaha, I came in human form. They will not know my Param Bhava Majananto. They will not know my Param Bhava. I am the Lord and Master of all the Bhutas, they don't know. Why? Because they think Krishna is also someone like me. So whatever feelings I have, he will also have. To the certain extent, it is all right, but then they are transcendental. They are not affected by the modes. What we think is that he is also affected by the modes. We means those who are incorrectly, they have a misconceived notion. So that is where this confidential knowledge, actually it is very, very important to note here, because here one side of the confidential knowledge is the soul is eternal, it's not the body. That is also Prabhupada says nicely in that 9.2 purport. But you see here, it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. So the confidentiality here is that Krishna is in the supreme abode and he has his transcendental pastimes all the time happening. And he is not in need of anybody there. And that confidential knowledge is what Brahma Samhita, it is there. Right? When Chintamani, Prakara Sadmashu, Kalpa Vriksha, in the spiritual world, what is happening, all those things Brahma is explaining there. Or in Bhagavatam also, there is this transcendental, the Vaikuntha planets. Third canto chapter is there. So one side, the transcendental nature of the living entity and Krishna is confidential. Another side, the transcendental nature of his abode is confidential. Right? You don't even know that there is an abode that is transcendentally present there. Unless and until you get into the devotional service mode, you will not you get the information or understanding of this transcendental abode, transcendental relationship between Krishna and his devotees. Those things we will not get so easily. Because in Paramatma level also, there is not so much of pastimes that will be revealed. Yes, Krishna is supreme absolute truth. He is spirit, supreme spirit. We are part and parcel. He is present in everybody's heart. To a certain extent, we know. But not to the extent, because the real seva bhav, when it starts, that's when the confidential knowledge is revealed. You understand? When the real seva bhav starts, that's when our confidential knowledge, it is revealed inside our hearts. Like the Golo Vrindavan, it's its nature, how Krishna exhibits his pastimes there, and all those things will be revealed, means realization. We may be able to read these things, but accepting it in full faith is possible only when we do devotional service. No? That revelation, but we will be convinced by it. If I read, I will just simply say, these are all stories. Oh, anyway, Krishna story, this story, that story. We all heard these things. So you just see them as stories and then get out of it. That is not, there is no connection there, isn't it? Whereas, when you see all these things happening, like say, suppose there is some news coming in the TV or some channel somewhere, you see that, say in Maharashtra something has happened, in Uttar Pradesh something has happened, you will really believe it. It's happening there. Correct? You will not say that, hey, who knows where there is some place called Uttar Pradesh is there or not. Why should I believe it? I don't even know there is some place called Lucknow, some place called Kanpur. I can say that way. Because I don't have access to that. I don't believe. I don't have access to that. But then it is existing. So we need to develop the qualification to go to these places. Like you purchase a ticket and you go to these places and really see that there is a Delhi, there is a Lucknow, there is a Kanpur, there is Ayodhya, there is a Mandir building built there, and you go there, then you'll see that. Similarly, we should also purchase the ticket. Purchasing the ticket is through the Tatram Laulyam Ekam Moolam, intense greed is the price you pay to purchase the ticket to the transcendental abode to understand the confidential knowledge. So realization of the confidential knowledge is only possible through seva with conviction. That yes, definitely Krishna is existing here. You have to, the place is there. You can experience all the transcendental bliss when you go there. So that is why he's saying it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. Without devotional service, we cannot realize the knowledge. So this is 2931. Let's get to any questions before we move further, because in that 9.2 we had that thing further, right? We were reading the purport.
Prabhuji, I have a question. I mean, in terms of the realization that you are saying, Prabhu, that that Leela is there, that Dham is there, that pastimes are there. So, I mean, that realization, what exactly, how is it different than somebody who is practicing and somebody who is realized it, Prabhu? So,
Sorry. Last point was not very clear. So somebody who is practicing and
somebody who is practicing and somebody who has realized it.
No, realization is Prabhu, realization without practice is not realization. Only when you practice, actually the realization is there. You got it? Without practice, there is no realization. I may say this. I've read it. I've realized it. But are you practicing it? Implementation is the last stage of receiving. Is the ultimate stage of receiving the realizations. So you will not be realized without practicing. Is that clear, Prabhu? So what is it? Can you reframe that question now? Or is it clear now?
So what I understand is, Prabhu, the thing that the Leela actually happened, and we realize ourselves as part and parcel of Krishna. So that I mean that feeling that we are actually being the part and parcel of Krishna, and that actually the things, the Dham, the Leela actually happened, and we are able to, in a way, I would say, I mean, the more we go deeper, the more we will be able to see it. Right, Prabhu? Is my
Yeah, the more we will be able to accept or be convinced by the fact that
yes.
it is really there. Right now, Golok is there. How much percentage of conviction do we have in? I have not seen it. You have not seen it. Maybe almost all of us have not seen it. But you are reading it day in and day out. Correct? So the conviction for this place, for the existence of Golok Vrindavan, the devotees there, and the way the climate is there, or the time, whatever is the changes and all that is going on there, the quality of that dham, all these things we are only hearing and we are accepting. Correct? So here, how will you be realized about it when you continue to do your chanting sincerely, when we continue to read more and more about the glorious pastimes of Krishna, and when we see that these experienced acharyas have in the same deha, they are there, but they are able to experience the spiritual world by intense sadhana, isn't it? They are able to participate in those pastimes and come back like that. So these are all symptoms that are given to us to increase our faith, Prabhu. Right? So when, like, how do you know that some people went to moon? Nobody knows who went. But so somebody goes and says that, yeah, yes, it is like this, it is like that. Then we compare it with the description, whatever is given in the science books or whatever. Then we say that, okay, you have accepted it. You have gone there and come. So we accept it. We don't challenge them. But if you don't even accept the book, then there is no question of even going further. Correct? First is in the book. You will see that as a theoretical thing. And then you see the people going there and coming back and explaining the same thing. Like simple things, Prabhu. How do you know that Yamdutas are coming in the last minute of our time? There are several examples where these people don't even know about this Ajamila and Bhagavatam. They have not read any of those Garuda Purana or anything. They have not read any of those things. But they are like, in fact, they are foreigners. They don't even have any access to our culture. But when they are dying on the last minutes of their time, they start making signs like, somebody is coming to take them away or something like that. So there are several examples where those people, when they somehow or other they came back to consciousness, they explained the appearance of those people in a subtle form, which is only visible to them in that like almost near death experience. Exactly the same way it is there in the our Bhagavatam. There are many such examples that are recorded, right? So in the book, we may study this. This is just an imaginary thing. But then when somebody explains it in the same way, what do? You accept it. Hey, yes, really, this person has seen such people.
So there was this man in our native place, Prabhu. So when he was about to leave his body few days before, so there was this Swamiji near the temple. So he called up Swamiji. So he said, I'm looking these black people surrounding here, and they are coming here. Please do something and please save me. So he said like, Bola havan karo, puja karo, kuch karo, please save me. He said like that.
It is definitely there, Prabhu. My uncle was also, he was in his in the ICU, and he was lying down. He was there for almost 15 days in the ICU, and then he passed away. But when he was talking a little bit 1 week before leaving his body, to his son, that is my cousin brother, he was telling there is some black thing that is sitting there. It is coming. It's about to jump on me. Something like that he was telling. Suddenly he was talking all right, perfectly fine. It's not like he was in delirious state or something like that. And then after some time, he again talked back to normal thing only. So in such, we when we see, these are all things which are not like, I don't see a reason why a dying man should make up something out of nowhere. What is it? What is it that they are going to gain from it? If I am here and healthy, at least I will know that some name fame will come. I will bask in that appreciations, whatever. Somebody who is going to leave his body, he will not be running after name and fame for that last moment. He will not even be there to see it. So they are expressing what they are seeing, right? And Tukaram, for example, what is that beautiful thing? Kante Tulasi Mala, Kaustubamani, Kante Kaustubamani, what is that? Sundarate Dhyana Ube Vitevari. Karkatavari, Teuniya. Then he says Gade Vaijantimala, and then Kaustubamani, Kante Kaustubamani, Virajita. He is actually seeing the Lord. When he is coming, he is seeing the Lord and he is describing all these things. Isn't it? He had that beautiful bhajan by Loknath Maharaj last year in the Kirtan Maharaj. And I've heard it a few times in few other tunes also. Such a beautiful expression of seeing the Lord. So it is not so imaginary thing. They are seeing the Lord directly and they are thinking. That is what is the most confidential knowledge revealed in conjunction with devotional service. Because Krishna does not show him every Tom, Dick and Harry response. No. He is revealing it only to those who are completely absorbed and submerged in devotional service. So they were so much into really performing the sadhana so sincerely and complete faith in Guru and Krishna. And that is when Krishna says, okay, I will reveal myself to you. Narada Muni got it revealed. In the next chapter, he will come. I mean, Krishna revealed himself to Narada Muni.
And one thing, Prabhu, I heard, I mean, that I liked very much is like, I mean, for people like me who are not at that level, for us, I mean, the enthusiasm or the eagerness that whatever little we have, it is that is something which is the form of realization for us, right? To get up every morning to do Mangalarti or to do chanting or to read Bhagavatam or whatever the enthusiasm that is there, that is the form. And gradually, I mean, as we practice, it will become, the more deeper we go, it will become.
Yes.
The realization will go deeper.
So it is the practice through which the realization is developed.
Yes.
And practice means with the firm conviction that irrespective of whether, see, I may be chanting now, but Krishna may reveal himself to me anytime. If there is no compulsion for him to reveal that, okay, I have done 16 rounds, Krishna, now you reveal 2% of your form to me, or your abode to me. There is no demand like that. We are continuously chanting. That is why it is called causeless mercy. His mercy is independent of our endeavor, but our endeavor must be there. Your endeavor must be there to get the what you call, to capture the mercy of to attract the vision, to attract the attention of the Lord. But when he is bestowing his mercy, he is doing it independent of what we done. He is not calculating based on our how much. Okay, you have done this many rounds, I will give you this much. No, not like that. He gives based on our sincerity and our honesty, right? So that is where that confidential knowledge lies. Confidential knowledge actually means it is there. You have firm conviction that it is there, even though you might not have seen it. And then you continue doing your devotional service in such a way that eventually the Lord will reveal himself to it. The deity form is there. We have firm conviction that Krishna is there. That's why we are doing puja, we are putting them to sleep, we are offering bhoga. Right? So when we do all these things, then gradually, to the extent we are surrendering to that form of the Lord, to that extent he will reveal himself to us. And how that revelation is measured? Who can say this answer to this question? To the degree to which how Krishna is revealing to us, how it is measured. what degree Krishna reveals himself to us?
To the degree we surrender.
Sorry, can you come again?
To the degree we surrender. Yam. One sloka is there, no, Prabhuji.
No, the degree to which Krishna reveals to us is understood by the degree to which
We surrender.
The degree to which we associate
the
with
sound coming
devotees.
from.
Prabhuji, the degree to which we get
Okay,
associated.
Shiva Prabhu is in railway station.
Yes,
I can hear some S4, S5 and all.
Prabhuji, the degree to which we give out, we go through association.
I couldn't hear you very clearly, Shiva Prabhu, but I think this is what you meant. The degree to which we are getting we are developing attachment to the form of the Lord, in whichever form it is. It can be Bhagavatam, it can be the DT form, it can be the holy name form, it can be the service form. So to the degree we are unflinchingly developing unflinching attachment to that form of the Lord, that is the degree to which Krishna has revealed himself to us. You got it? The more and more I am getting attached to Bhagavatam, the more and more Krishna has revealed himself to me in the form of Bhagavatam. The more and more I am getting attached to the service of the Lord, to the deity form, to that extent the Lord has revealed himself to me in the. So to that extent, the most confidential knowledge is revealed to me. The confidential knowledge that I am present everywhere. I am receiving, I am accepting your services, and I am reciprocating to the service. Does that help? Any other points of use? Or questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
The person more, he realized he become more humble, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Like this?
yes. That these mean the moment you develop that transcendental attachment to the Lord, or to the Lord or to the service of the Lord, then all the sarvai gunais tatra samasate suraha, all the transcendental qualities of the devtas and rishis and everybody, they all come and reside in us. So we will see that we'll become more and more and more humble. We'll become more and more grateful. We'll become more and more tolerant. We'll become more and more enthusiastic for service. These are all outcome of that attachment to the Lord in that form. So that is how we can measure to what extent Krishna has revealed this confidential knowledge, revealed himself to the devotee.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Mataji.
Hare
You said
Krishna,
something?
thank you.
No, yes. But the development of attachment comes by constantly being, see, this is where it is very important. The development of attachment, Krishna gives that attachment based on our conviction that irrespective of whether I am getting reciprocation from Krishna or not, I will continue doing this seva. You got it? You're chanting continuously. We may not get Krishna's association so easily. Or I mean to say, we may not be able to see Krishna every time. But still we will stick on with it, no? We'll stick on with it. We'll say, irrespective of whether I'm able to remember Krishna during the chanting or not, irrespective of whether I'm able to hear Krishna's holy names continuously when chanting or not, but still I will continue to chant my 16 rounds. Right? That unflinching service, irrespective of whatever happens, I will continue to do that. Determination is there, no? To that determination, Krishna will reciprocate. But when that determination is possible when we don't do that service as a fruitive activity. Got it? When I do these services with some motive, then at some point they will stop. Because the fruit is not coming. Does that make sense? The fruit will not come. We are looking for a fruit. That I want to see, I want to see, I want this, I want that. That's why I'm doing. Then when I'm doing chanting for some ulterior purposes, for some other fruitive thing, expectations, then I will keep doing, and after some time, if it is not coming, I will jump into some other path, because the fruit is more important than the process itself. So that is why we should never do devotional service with the fruitive mentality. I'm doing this to get rid of something. I'm doing this to get something. These things will not help us do unflinching devotional service. The determination will be lost. That's why slowly what happens, even in the beginning, if you are having some fruitive desires, when you keep going on, the devotional service is like a river. It will take over the other. It will drive away all the other anarthas, the form of fruitive mentalities that comes. Only pure service without any expectation for results, name, fame, etc., will be completely relishable by the practitioner. The thing will not taste as sweet as this. This is the topmost sweetest thing, when we do service only for the pleasure of the Lord, nothing else, and without any expectations. That is why this most confidential knowledge is revealed only to selected people. It's not given to anybody and everybody. In other words, even though it is openly spoken, still people can't understand. So the Rahasyam is very important. Okay, so shall we move on with our 9.2, reading 9.2?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I just have one question. Where
Yes.
when it is said that unflinching devotion, so I don't get it, that whether it is unflinching, whether I have a motive, because like for example, I'll give you example, hope that would be easy for you to understand. Like you wrote in the group, right, ki, for this year also we should, those who wants to read, start reading at least one chapter a day, text and sloka. So I thought
Correct.
of reading it, but I am not sure that it is because of unflinching devotion. I want to read it. I thought of taking that vow of reading this year, or whether I just want to read it just because everyone is reading, I am reading it. Are you getting it? With the just because I should not be left behind, I should also do this.
So
I
Mataji, I got your question. Yes, like many times we do that chasing thing, not only reading thing. When somebody is doing book distribution also, you want to not to be left behind. So you go ahead and do some book distribution. Or somebody is saying, you have to do this seva, etc. Then naturally they get that. But what happens now, Mataji? You might have started with that, like even initiations, for example. You may take initiation just because so many people are taking. Correct? It may not be that much due to some like tremendous attraction that I had for devotional service, or to something to the spiritual masters qualities that I may not be always true. Sometimes, oh, my friend is taking, I will also take. Like that we go, correct? So,
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
so the point is that the concession that Krishna is giving is that in the beginning, you may come like that. But because you are touching devotional service, that devotional service is so pure that it will purify us in the course of the whole deal. And then you will reach a point where you will slowly all the contaminations go away, and you shine as like a pure light, pure sun. The shining lights of the sun, which is completely pure. You got the point? Or the pure gold.
Okay, so in due
process
course of time, yeah.
Sorry, Mataji.
In the process of performing that activity, Krishna will purify us, right?
Yes, the devotional service itself has the purificatory potency, purifying potency. So initially you may come with whatever the thing may be. Like Dhruva Maharaj came with this desire. But in the course of following his Guru Maharaj's instruction, Narada's instruction, and with his firm determination as he was doing, his other things that the whatever you call it as other distractions, they went away. Correct. It sheds like the gold you put into the fire. It sheds away all the impurities and shines pure, even more pure. Correct. So going through that fire of devotional service is very important. When the gold is burning, when it is going through that burning process, it's very painful. We are also going through that tapa. That's why it's called tapta kanchana, right? Shining like the molten gold, so pure and so beautiful. Like that, when we go through that process of devotional service, there is so many things that which we'll have to face. We may face some, say, challenges in the relationships. There will be some challenges in the way we are doing service. We may be chastised. We may be corrected. So many things will happen, but a real devotee will stick on with the process irrespective of whatever he gets, and then he keeps going, marching forward. As Prabhupada says, the caravan will march on, elephant caravan, it will keep marching on. Dogs may bark, but you have to keep marching on. I don't know how many of you know this Gujarati statement. So such a beautiful, powerful statement by Narasimha Mehta. I don't know if any Gujaratis are in this call, but Gaurav Prabhu, you are not a Gujarati.
No, Prabhu, I am not a Gujarati.
I know you are not a Gujarati. So this is a beautiful statement, says, Harino Marakche Shurano, Nahi Kayarno Kam Jone. Oh, I think Aishwarya Kishori Mataji is a Gujarati. One Mataji is there at least. She's my sister of my godbrother, Govindang Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So nice to see you. Are you in Baroda or you are in Australia?
Baroda, Prabhu.
Good.
In Baroda now. Yes.
Prabhu. Nice.
My mom.
How is Rohin doing?
He is doing good.
Good. Nice to hear. I didn't see him at all after that. Anyway, so this statement is very powerful statement. Harino Marakche Shurano, Nahi Kayarno Kam Jone, Martak Muki Pahelo, Valta Nam Levi Jone. Very powerful statement it is. Harino Marg means Krishna's path is devotional service to attain Krishna is only for sure people. I mean, say brave people. Not for cowards, not for cowards. Very clearly he says Narasimha. Why? Because Mattakamke Pahelo means you cut off your head, means false ego basically. You cut off your head, all the false ego is here only, no? So you cut off your head, throw it in the path ahead, and then you take the name and walk in that path. Naam Levi, you have to take the name and then start walking. So much is there. So it's only for sure people. So those who are determined, they will be able to go through the fire of bhakti, of fire of the bhakti marg. See, everybody you take, they went through so much trouble. Tukaram, Narasimha Mehta, Pandavas, Prahlad Maharaj, Parishit Maharaj, everybody went through life-threatening situation or life-ending situations. But they never, Tad Vidwan Chalain Marga, they never deviated from their main path even an inch. That is when Krishna reciprocates. So we should be ready to go through the grind, It can't be like Kichadi Bhaktas all the time. Like, okay, average Bhaktas, like, okay, let me just get just pass mark and then go. It won't work. There itself it means we are in a comfort zone. But at the same time, we should not be fanatical or impractical in what we are doing. That today 12 o'clock midnight, I am having full faith in Krishna. I will go to the graveyard and sit and chant. Do you want to do that? Why do you want to do that? Right? Frankly speaking, if you go 12 o'clock and chant there, the ghosts will all run away because of our chanting. You'll be afraid, more ghosts will come here. I'm just kidding, but it's really don't do. Or I have full faith in Krishna. I'll jump into the snake thing, and then a bunch of snakes are there. I jump into it. No need. Why do you have to do all that? Character building is more refining our character is more important than all these foolish attempts. That I want to show how much Krishna is, whether he's there or not, how much he's protecting me. These are all show business. Don't want all that. You just silently take it that this is what I have to do, but then internally we are very, very fixed. Internally we are fixed in our sankalpa and determination. Does it help? Anand Shakti Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
And we are always protected by Guru and Krishna. We are always protected by the association of devotees. So no need to worry. Things will naturally happen in the course of time. Okay, that makes sense. So can we read through the 9.2 or should we any other questions still? Let's read 9.2. Where did we stop? I think we went through more than halfway. Rajesh Prabhu was telling. The purport, I mean. The most
so
secret of all things, purest knowledge. And because it is
one.
Sorry, Prabhu?
We need to start from here, Prabhu.
From where it is said that the execution of devotional service, huh? Let's read that.
I think we read this in the last class.
Yeah, we might have finished that paragraph. Let's read from it is said that the execution of devotional service onwards. Okay. It's a long purport, so we need to cover it so that we can go to the next verse next week. See the beauty here. I didn't realize this point till now that in the purport, Prabhupada again quotes this verse from the same chapter, Uchishta Lepan. Can you see the connection? Just below, you see. This verse comes in this chapter. This verse, Uchishta Lepan, is 1.5.25, just a few verses before our thing. And we had no idea that this 5th chapter is connected with 9.2. We didn't have any such idea. But see how Prabhupada is quoting that verse here. These are all little ecstatics, little magic ecstasy that happens, Prabhupada does like this many times. So let's read that paragraph in the, it is said that, yes. Who wants to start?
I can read, Prabhu.
Please carry on. We just have 8 more minutes, so we have to go as much as we can.
It is said that the execution of devotional service is so perfect that one can perceive the results directly. This direct result is actually perceived And we have practical experience that any person who is chanting the holy names of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, in course of chanting without offenses, feels some transcendental pleasure and very quickly becomes purified of all material contamination.
See, we discussed all these points. Prabhupada is saying the same thing. You follow the process and then with determination and automatically the experiences will come. Yes, continue.
This is actually seen. Furthermore, if one engages not only in hearing, but in trying to broadcast the message of devotional activities as well, or if he engages himself in helping the missionary activities of Krishna consciousness, he gradually feels spiritual progress.
See,
this is
another point. Like, it's not that you are only hearing and sitting. You go and distribute books or distribute the knowledge, share some thoughts with some others. Then naturally you'll start feeling that's progress, right? Going closer to Krishna. Yes.
This advancement in spiritual life does not depend on any kind of previous education or qualification. The method itself is so pure that by simply engaging in it, one becomes pure.
See, it does not depend on any kind of previous education or qualification. Prahlad Maharaj says this very beautiful verse in Manye Danapi Janarupa Tapastu Trushrutau just Teja Prabhava Balapurusha Buddhi Yoga Naradhanai hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayutapaya. This beautiful verse here, 7-9. Wait a minute. Tell you. Which verse is this? There is no need of any qualifications, you say. Yeah, 7-9-9. Can you take it? See, it's a list of so many qualities which are not required to realize Krishna. Beautiful thing. Manye, I will consider. Dana, that is riches. Abhijana, no need for great aristocratic royal families and Rupa, there is no need for personal beauty. Tapaha, no need for austerity also. Shruta, knowledge from the studying Vedas also is not required. Ojaha, your sensory prowess. Tejaha, bodily effort. Prabhava, influence. You don't have to be a big person in the society, whatever. Bala, bodily strength. Paurusha, diligence. Buddhi, intelligence. Yoga, mystic power. All these are not required for satisfying the Lord. Simply by devotional service. Without any of these material qualifications. Bhaktya, simply by devotional tutosha, satisfied. Who? The Lord. Gajayutapaya. Gajendra was able to do. Gajendra did not have any of these qualities. He was able to do. So, as a pure devotee, Prahlad Maharaj is taking the example of Gajendra and saying that he was able to do it, so I am also in a humble way, even though I don't have any qualification, I am also trying in a humble way to do in that same way. I know you will accept pure devotion service without any material considerations. This is the beautiful prayer that Prahlad Maharaj says. Now you go back to 9.2, you will realize that this connects very well with that line. This advancement in spiritual life does not depend on any kind of previous education or qualification. The method itself is so pure that by simply engaging in it, one becomes pure. That's the beauty of Bhakti. Okay, let's read the next paragraph.
In the Vedanta Sutra 3.2.26, this is also described in the following words: Prakashas cha karmani abhyasat. Devotional service is so potent that simply by engaging in the activities of devotional service, one becomes enlightened without a doubt. A practical example of this can be seen in the previous life of Narada, who in that life happened to be the son of a maid servant. He had no education, nor was he born into a high family. But when his mother was engaged in serving great devotees, Narada also became engaged, and sometimes in the absence of his mother, he would serve the great devotees himself. Narada personally says, Uchista lephan anumodito dvijaiha sakrit sma bhunje tad apastha kilbishah. Evam pravritasya vishuddha chetasas Tad dharma evatma ruchi prajayate.
Prajayate.
In this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.25, Narada describes his previous life to his disciple Vyasadeva.
Really, Prabhu, it's really magic only because we never saw this thing, you know, these two slokas are from the same chapter. Tatranvaham Krishna Katah Pragayatam. This also we just read just a couple of weeks ago, right? Let's see it further. Thank you. Please continue.
He says that while engaged as a boy servant for those purified devotees during the 4 months of their stay, he was intimately associating with them. Sometimes those sages left remnants of food on their dishes, and the boy who would wash their dishes wanted to taste the remnants. So he asked the great devotees for their permission, and when they gave it, Narada ate those remnants and consequently became freed from all sinful reactions. As he went on eating, he gradually became as pure-hearted as the sages.
See, as he went on eating. This is a nice statement. Huh? You keep on taking only Mahaprasadam and you become as pure-hearted as the sages. Yes, Prabhu.
The great devotees relished the taste of unceasing devotional service to the Lord by hearing and chanting, and Narada gradually developed the same taste. Narada says further, Tatranva aham Krishna Kata Pragayatam Anugrahen
Tatranvaham Krishna Katah Pragayatam Anugrahena Shrinavam Manohara Tashraddhayanubha Tashraddhayamenupadam Shrinvatah Priyashravasyan Gamama Bhavatruchihi.
By associating with the sages, Narada got the taste for hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, and he developed a great desire for devotional service. Therefore, as described in the Vedanta Sutra, Prakashascha karmani abhyasat. If one is engaged simply in the acts of devotional service, everything is revealed to him automatically, and he can understand. This is called pratyaksha, directly perceived. The word dharmyam means the path of religion. Narada was actually a son of a maidservant. He had no
See, the
opportunity to
entire
go to school.
Narada story he is giving, huh? He didn't. I thought he's just going to stop there with Narada, but he's, he's continuing on. I don't know where this divine connection is there. We also didn't. I've not seen this purport. I know that the Raja Vidya Raja Kucham verse is talking about most confidential thing. And when we encountered this verse, we saw the 2 verses and then this 3rd verse. And this entire purport, half of it is already talking about Narada Muni only. Nice, Prabhu. Please continue.
He was simply assisting his mother, and fortunately, his mother rendered some service to the devotees. The child Narada also got the opportunity and simply by association achieved the highest goal of all religion. The highest goal of all religion is devotional service, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaje. Religious people generally do not know that the highest perfection of religion is attainment of devotional service. As we have already discussed in regard to the last verse of chapter 8, Vedeshu Yajnesu Tapasu Chaiva. Generally, Vedic knowledge is required for self-realization. But here, although Narada never went to the school of the spiritual master and was not educated in Vedic principles, he acquired the highest results of Vedic study. This process is so potent that even without performing the religious process regularly, one can be raised to the highest perfection. How is this possible? This is also confirmed in Vedic literature. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. One who is in association with great acharyas, even if he is not educated or has never studied the Vedas, can become familiar with all the knowledge necessary for realization.
He is a personified Veda. Acharyavan Purusho Veda means he is a personified form of all Vedas. Whatever is there in the Vedas, he practices and teaches us through his personal example. Yes, please continue. Or someone else wants to continue from here?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes,
Can I
Mataji.
read?
Yes, Kamali Mataji. But how many more paragraphs are there? 2 or 3?
3 more.
Okay, let's continue and finish it off so that we can go to the next verse in the next session.
The process of devotional service is a very happy one. Susukham. Why? Devotional service consists of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. So one can simply hear the chanting of the glories of the Lord or can attend philosophical lectures on transcendental knowledge given by authorized acharyas. Simply by sitting, one can learn. Then one can eat the remnants of the food offered to God, nice palatable dishes. In every state, the devotional service is joyful. One can execute devotional service even in the most poverty stricken condition. The Lord says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. He is ready to accept from the devotee any kind of offering, never mind what. Even a leaf, a flower, a bit of fruit, or a little water, which are all available in every part of the world, can be offered by any person, regardless of social position, and will be accepted if offered with love. There are many instances in history. Simply by tasting the tulasi leaves offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, great sages like Sanat Kumara became great devotees. Therefore, the devotional process is very nice and it can be executed in a happy mood. God accepts only the love with which things are offered to Him. It is said here that the devotional service is eternally existing. It is not as the Mayavadi philosophers claim. Although they sometimes take to so called devotional service, their idea is that as long as they are not liberated, they will continue their devotional service, but at the end, when they become liberated, they will become one with God. Such temporary
Why?
time-serving
Because they
devotional
don't
service
understand
is,
that, because
yeah.
they don't understand that the transcendental abode is existing eternally.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Mother, please continue.
Such temporary time-serving devotional service is not accepted as pure devotional service. Actual devotional service continues even after liberation. When the devotee goes to the spiritual planet in the kingdom of God, he is also engaged there in serving the Supreme Lord. He does not try to become one with the Supreme Lord.
But this is the most
As will be,
confidential knowledge.
yeah.
You will continue the service there. Yes, Mother, please continue.
As will be seen in Bhagavad Gita, actual devotional service begins after liberation. After one is liberated, when one is situated in the Brahman position, Brahma Bhuta, one's devotional service begins. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param.
See,
No one
beautiful
can
verse.
understand.
Can we go to that verse once? Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati.
Tinakankshati.
Yeah.
Sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhakta labate param.
Sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim
Labate Param.
Labate
Yes.
param.
1854, I think.
Yeah. That's a very beautiful verse. So, Mad Bhaktim Labate Param means you are attaining that bhakti. Param Bhakti, your transcendental bhakti, you are attaining. Labate. Labate means you gain. What is that? One who is just transcendentally situated, at once realizes Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me.
Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. So equal to every living being.
So that is where we can attain pure devotional service. Okay, let's get back to our verse. Sorry, our purport.
No one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by executing Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, or any other yoga independently. By these yogic methods, one may make a little progress towards Bhakti Yoga. But without coming to the stage of devotional service, one cannot understand what is the personality of Godhead. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also confirmed that when one becomes purified by executing the process of devotional service, especially by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita from realized souls, then he can understand the signs of Krishna or the signs of God. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha. When one's heart is cleared of all nonsense, then one can understand what God is. Thus, the process of devotional service of Krishna consciousness is the king of all education and the king of all confidential knowledge. It is the purest form of religion and it can be executed joyfully without difficulty. Therefore, one should adopt it.
Jai, Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Purport Ki Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Such a beautiful purport. Is ending with that. What is the king of all knowledge? But one question here, maybe you can take it as your offline work. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also confirmed that one becomes purified by executing the process of devotional service, especially by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita from religious schools. Then he can understand the science of Krishna. Which verse is that? You can look into it offline and share it in the group. Okay?
Okay.
Not today. You can do it offline and share. Just quote that line from the purport and say this is the verse that refers to, that Prabhupada is referring to here. If I will tell you one simple exercise, Prabhu's Mataji. If we simply go through these purports and find out these statements where Prabhupada is saying in Bhagavad Gita, he says, in Bhagavatam, he says, and try to find it out in our thing, you will never miss any of your the meaning of the verse also and the verse also. You will have both the connection so nicely. And wherever somebody says some line here, there, immediately you will quote the verse. And wherever somebody quotes a verse, immediately you will quote the meaning. May not be exactly the same words of Prabhupada, but at least pretty much close to that, based on your understanding of every word.
There is this first line also, Prabhu, in the paragraph. As will be seen in Bhagavad Gita, actual devotional service begins after liberation.
And that is a Brahmaputra Prasannatma, no? That verse. That's why we went to that verse. When I used to do study with Ganapati Maharaj and Maharashtra Maharaj and all, this is what they will do. They will stop and say, which verse is this? Then immediately we have to say, or wherever we are, we have to get that and tell. And Ganapati Maharaj will ask for the verse sometimes. Even if you put the answer, the translation, he will be happy. But Maharashtra Maharaj, you will say, you put the verse and then you say the translation. So for him, even translation has to be learned by heart.
Prabhuji, 1 to 18 also says the same thing, na, that by regular attendance, which we Nashpraishu Bhadreshu Nitam Bhagavad.
Correct. But you'll have to find those out. There can be a couple of verses which might match that point of Prabhupada. So look into it offline and you can share your findings. It need not be like 100% correct. Whatever it is, based on your realization or your search, that's good enough. We can also have a nice discussion on it. Okay. Like this, we will do off and on so that our strength and it will strengthen our knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Wherever such things come, immediately we refer to those verses, and then it will stick on in our heart for a long period. This is how, just like a talwar, no, if you don't use it for a long time, it will get rusted. You should keep using it. Same way, the sword of knowledge also, you should keep remembering them and keep using them. Then it will be more used and it will be more shining and very fresh. Otherwise, I just read one sloka. At the time I read, but later I don't use it at all. Then it will not be like you don't sing a tune for a long time. You will forget them. You keep repeating them. Anytime you feel like it will come, right? Anytime you want to sing the tune, automatically it comes. So that's pretty much the same. So can we stop here and then we'll continue? Krishna willing, tomorrow is Thursday. So I think we should do Prabhupada Smaranam again. We'll start with that. Nobody told the page number. Usually you tell after the discussion.
Everybody was absorbed, Prabhu.
Yeah, yesterday's was too much, no? Really?
Yes. It is page 172, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. I think as we were reading, we forgot the page number and we just went on with it. Like really, that's how it should
One
be.
catchword was there, good opinion or good option. Some catchword or we stopped.
Probe promised.
Promised. Yes. Promised. Let's see. It's going to get very interesting as we go along further. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining, Prabhu's Matajis. We'll see you tomorrow, Krishna willing, 7:30 p.m. on Prabhu's Maranam side. Hari Bol. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, अनंतकोटि वैष्णव की जय, पिता गौर प्रमानंदे। हरि हरि दंडवत प्रणाम। Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam. This is Raghavendra here, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Raghavendra Prabhu.